I did also have the option of American Ninja Warrior, but there's there's not a chance that
I think you could do it. I think
be so for
I think
real
you can
right
do it.
now. Be so for real right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bleat This. We're here on episode 8. I'm your host, Luke Guilday, and I'm joined by...
Hi, I'm a friend of Luke. My name is Holobovich.
And Ty, unfortunately, could not be here today. I've now taken over, thankfully. Finally, it's all mine. But my wonderful friend Bo is here to take Ty's place. And today's topic is going to be pretty interesting, I'd say. We're going to talk about which game show, whether that's reality or just any game show, would we prefer to be a contestant in. Now, we have talked a little bit prior to this, and I know what Bo's pick is. They do not know what mine is. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm going to wait until they talk a bit about their choice first. Bo, what was your choice, and explain it a little bit.
So my choice was Game Changer from the subscription service Dropout. It's kind of just, it's a different theme each week, essentially. So, like, one of them was, like, you have to replicate certain noises, and others is, like, you have to do certain tasks. Or, like, one of the episodes was you had to hit a button to answer a question, but the buttons were hidden around the studio and everything. So there's, like, a huge range of different, like, skills and, like, different games that are on the show. And I think I could pull it off. Like, I could run around. I can do, like, escape room stuff. I can draw. That's something that comes up a couple times. And I think I could pull it off, just all of the different games and stuff.
I will say one of the ones that, before I picked the one that I did pick, I was initially thinking Game Changer, because, I mean, we both have watched it a lot. Mm-hmm. And I apologize. I did watch the newest episode.
You should be ashamed of yourself. We were supposed to watch that together.
Listen. Here's the thing, right? I'm not going to say anything, but wow. it was, listen.
I feel betrayed right now.
Listen, no. Here's the thing. I think we're even now. For context on yesterday, I was playing D&D with my dear friend Bo, and it was 3 hours, and they killed my character. So I think we're even.
Who's to say? Who's to
say, really? But the actual show itself, like, I do really like it. I know one of the big things that they do is the Sam Reich is the host of the show, and he does, like, Sam Says, so, like, Simon Says, but they're incrementally, like, just
way worse each time.
Way worse in the sense of, like, they're just alarming, but way better in the sense of, like, it's just so much happening. Like, there was one clip where, like, it was Sam Says Don't Flinch, and they drop a mannequin from the ceiling and it lands on the ground. Yeah. And, like, the contestants are, like, actually, like, screaming because they're like, exactly. Oh my God, like, they thought it was an actual, like, body. But yeah, so that definitely, you know, I mean, and I know that one of the things you said was, like, they do a different show called, like, Make Some Noise, which has, like, you know, them
replicating sounds
or like
doing,
scenarios.
Yeah, doing
like,
scenarios
like
and stuff like that.
Improv pretty much and stuff
Most
like that.
Most of the show is,
Is there, like, a specific episode that you would want to be a contestant, or just...
I think in general, I think you could throw me into almost any of the episodes, and I think I would do fine in them. I think a Sam Says episode would be really fun, because of the incremental getting worse scenarios and stuff. It would also be really fun, like, a host standpoint of that, because you can just say anything, and you can just get people to do anything, you know? And, like, I think the Sam Says would be really fun, because, like, one of the things is, like, propose a CGI effect or something like that. And, like, you just get to make something up on the spot to, like, that's so much crazier or, like, better than the other contestants.
And then the editor just does it.
Exactly. And then the editor just has to do it.
And then the editor just starts crying because of the necessary details on that. Mm-hmm. I think if I was on one, would probably be the one bingo episode where
yeah.
So here's the thing with this show is that truly, like, the premise, as Bo said, is that the game show, like, changes every episode. Mm-hmm. None of the contestants know beforehand, like, what they're going into. It's something that they figure out the rules as the show is going. So, like, sometimes a question will just show up and they won't know how to respond to it, and they'll either get it right or wrong. But one of them was a bingo. And 3 of the contestants were playing, I guess, spoiler alert, but, 3 of the contestants were playing bingo on the main stage. And then apparently behind the stage were 3 other contestants that had bingo sheets of things that the other contestants say or do. So, like, you have person A, B, and C, right, on the main stage. And then in the back, you have person 1, 2, and 3. Mm-hmm. Person 1 has a bingo card of everything, like, just little, like, quips or things that person A does, person 2 to B. And so they're trying to get a bingo. And then...
Well, also, person 1, 2, and 3 are making the questions for... and C to prompt them to do their little quirks or, like, go on rants and stuff like that.
Yeah. And but then there's let's say person circle, triangle, and square, where they had a third layer of that, where then those 3 players were doing things for those 3 players that were doing things for, like, the main. It just kept. It's going, and it legitimately was so insane.
Because also the reveal of it is, like, I'd say, like, the first reveal is, like, a third in the episode, and then the second one's about halfway into the episode. Because, like, the first reveal, you're kind of just thinking, oh my gosh, that's so crazy, haha. And then the third one happens, and you're like, oh, what?
But then it's like, but that's the thing of, like, it keeps the audience wondering, like, is there somehow just a 4th layer that they're not going to tell us? Like, honestly, on an editor's standpoint, like, I would love to see the final product, but actually physically doing it I would not get sleep, I think, ever. Because it's like there's a lot. They have to have, at least for that episode, there had to be at least 8 different cameras that they had to, like, sort footage
Minimum
through.
8.
Minimum 8, probably.
And, like, the episode's, like, a good 40, 50 minutes,
like,
I think.
Probably 12, if anything. Like, I mean, there's more than one editor, I'm sure, but, like, even still, like...
That's still a lot.
That is still a lot to process. But I know of a show that might not have as many cameras and might, I think being a contestant on, man, what a journey that would be. I want to take this back to, I don't know how many years this show has been in, but imagine it's a beautiful summer's day and you're asked to do an obstacle course in the water, and you have to go through it, and they will make it so that they will just beat the crap out of you and you cannot win. Yes, I'm talking about Wipeout. I think it would be truly an honor to be a contestant on Wipeout. Now, here are a few incidents where that can't be the case.
I'd love to hear it.
1, the show's discontinued, so that might put a wrench into things at the very least. 2, I do have a heart condition, so that is something that they...
You're already at a disadvantage there.
Yes, you could say that. But they'd probably be like, hey, you can't do that. You can't be on the show. And also 3, like, I did a bit of research, and by research, I looked at a 15-minute compilation of the best of moments literally before the starting recording. Mm-hmm. And I looked at it, and I thought about it, and I'm like, they actually, like, there are some instances where it's like they could get severely injured.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
no,
severely.
People have definitely gotten concussions because, like,
100%.
The punch wall and stuff like that, like, straight to the face,
there's literally, one of them is literally, they have to run across a platform, and there are walls to their left or something. And sometimes the wall just goes, pop.
Yeah, fully kicks them off.
It'll literally, like, actually just slam them off.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is just, like, they fall in mud. Mm-hmm. Like,
well, I think certain parts of it are mud, and then other parts are, like, actual water.
Yeah.
So, like, you're getting rinsed off in some parts, but it's still, like, you're running around sopping wet.
There's a good 75% chance you're just landing in straight mud. Like, and you're just going to have to deal with that.
Here's the thing. I have a Wii, and I used to have a game, Wipeout, the game.
Yeah.
I think that's your chance to do this, since it's not on air anymore.
Since it's not on air anymore.
And I will say, I was pretty good at it. That was also many years ago.
That was also the video game. That
doesn't matter.
I
know that I might have exercise-induced asthma, but I could do it. I think test running the game first and then working your way up to the actual obstacle course, because we could figure out how to make that in Westchester, right?
Well, you would need a big pool of water.
That's easy to find.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll just walk outside, and there'll be a large hole where the academic quad used to be.
Yeah, they're actually installing that next week.
Oh, that's what they're installing for Ramboree.
No, exactly. It's like this new thing they're doing this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, here's the thing. Honestly, I wouldn't even need the whole obstacle course.
Mm-hmm.
I would just need to prove to myself if I can get past the big red balls, okay? Because here's the thing. That's like the bread and butter of this show.
That's what Wipeout is known for, like, the big red balls and all that.
And so, like, it's... If I can get through that, like, I would say that that's pretty much winning because here's the thing, right? The compilation that I saw, and granted, maybe it was just this specific compilation, but 10 minutes of it were people jumping to the first one and then absolutely, like, their head just, into the second one. No, not me. I'm different, all right? I make sure that I have balance, and I make sure that I have patience. This is a tortoise and hare situation that we're dealing with.
Okay, technically you are right, but also you're being timed, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So, like, you still need to have, like,
that's why the hare is the time, because I'm the tortoise, all right, and eventually I make it, and
you're not racing the time.
Well, it is a race against the time. If you think about it.
Okay, no, you're right with that one. I'm sorry.
Exactly. So, the time, like, maybe you have a good 10 minutes or something. I don't even need that. Give me a solid 5, and
You're going to go with 5?
Yeah, give me a solid 5. Well, 3 minutes, I'm going to do some deep breathing.
And then you have 2 to just go through.
And then I have 2 to just go through it. And
okay.
That's all I need.
See, I don't think that's true. I think you would take, like, a good 5 minutes on the big balls alone, and then get to the next one, and get hit off with one of the hammers or something.
Knowing that, like, because
you'd get yourself in that situation.
Well, no. Here's the thing: is that we have a mutual friend group, and everyone in that has decided that me being either a cartoon character or getting into Seinfeld-like scenarios, I would something would fall from the sky.
Yeah, well,
that's
I'm
not
sure
even
that happens.
That's not even a part of the course.
Oh, it's
like
just
something
else
falls from the sky,
okay.
And before I even get to jump, I fall to the side by accident. Which I feel like...
You missed the jump. You jump off the side yourself.
Yeah. There was one thing, though, that I saw that I'm like, I didn't know if it was, like, part of the course or something. Like, have you ever seen those, like, they have this, like, They have this big, like, cushiony platform.
Okay.
And you sit on the end of it, like, on one end of it. And then they, like, someone usually jumps on the other side of it, launching you and stuff like that. They didn't do that. Instead, what they did was that they had a big, like, cube fall from the sky. And it showed, there was one person, from the water where the platform was, that was 5 feet. Someone flew 40 feet in the air from that
40?
happening. Yeah, 40 feet, and then landed in the water. Like, it's like...
40? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 40 feet. Like...
Oh, you'd land yourself up at 60 probably.
No, I think if it was dropped on me, I'd launch into the sun. Like, if we're being honest.
No, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And then I would launch into the sun. You'd hear me like just scream, and then it would get like quieter as I go on, and then you see a glisten in the
and then
sky.
You see the star and pops, and then you're never heard of again.
Exactly. Yeah. But I won't lie. You do have a bit of advantage in this debate because I was this close to picking Game Changer, because that is a very good pick. However, another one that I did have was Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? The answer?
Probably.
I can try.
Maybe.
I mean, I took intro to math, so I'm already at a slight, disadvantage.
Well, I would have hoped you graduated 5th grade to get here now, in college.
Yeah.
So I would assume you're smarter than a 5th grader.
I mean, you would assume every contestant that goes on there would have done that.
That is true.
To a degree, So it's like, okay, here's the thing. Math questions, bam.
Wait.
I can do that.
Simplify 5 over 10?
1/2.
Man, you're smarter than a 5th grader.
I did it.
You did it. You finished the show.
I won the show. But if it's like, I will say, if it's like history or occasionally English, I'm out. I've lost.
Really?
I'm very bad at, I'm very bad at history and English. In fact, in high school, I was in we had 3 levels of like any class, so it was like CP, which was college prep, honors, and then AP.
Okay.
I was in honors history, but throughout high school, I was in CP English, which is not a bad thing. However, they wanted to move me back up into honors English. I did the summer reading one year, and then I asked them if they could move me back down to CP English, because I read what did I read? I read The East of Eden, which was, if I remember correctly, one of the worst books I've ever read, and to this day, I have not fully read a book in probably 3 years. If it's like history or English, I cannot.
Okay, I have a history question for you then.
Okay.
Who told the people that the British are coming?
Come
on.
No, I know. Paul Revere.
Okay, good.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
No, I was trying to think of a funny answer, but
Andrew Hamilton.
No. No, I wanted
not even his name.
No, I wanted to say Millie Bobby Brown. I don't know.
Lin-Manuel Miranda and all that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I think, because how does it work again? Is it like they just pick a category and then they have a kid also go up against the contestant?
And I think some of the questions are even like multiple choice ones. So you're only picking from 4 options, so it can't be that hard.
I did used to play. There was on there
like
used to be
game.
The game.
Yeah.
I did used to play the game but it was mainly on phone or tablet or something. I don't think I got first ever. I think.
Okay, when were you playing this though?
Oh, when I was in middle school.
Oh, never mind. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. Because here's the thing, right? Let's be honest with ourselves. Can you remember every single thing that happened in elementary, middle school, or even high school? I certainly can't.
Okay, yeah, I can't either, but those years are making the basics for learning stuff. So you should know the basics at least.
Okay, well, while that was supposed to happen, I went home, I ate nice snacks, watched a bit of TV, attempted to do homework, and then played video games. you know.
I was doing similar things.
Exactly. See, exactly.
But I still think I'm smarter than a 5th grader.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I do think I'm smarter than a 5th grader, but I just know that there's going to be that one question that I'm going to embarrass myself in that I will not get, and the 5th grader will be like, oh, you didn't know about this? Like,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm
sorry that I disappointed you.
I'm sorry that I now have to do taxes. Like,
no,
listen.
I mean, we have to do taxes, and granted, I might not know how to do my taxes, but I still do them. But a 5th grader doesn't know how to do taxes either.
Exactly.
So I think I'm smarter than them.
Does a 5th grader know how to set up Bleat This? Probably not.
Probably not. Doesn't know how to set up a camera or a microphone.
Or no. Probably not. And if they did, I'm upset. Attention all Rams past, future, and present. Everyone's all-time favorite spring tradition is back. Join us for Ramboree 2025 on May 2nd from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., located in the Ram Park. At Ramboree, there will be games, rides, and entertainment, and something for everyone to enjoy, such as a Ferris wheel, live music, a petting zoo, flower truck, rage room, spin art, and more. There will be free t-shirts and other giveaways up for grabs, and we hope to see you there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, I guess speaking with like school, like more so, this is straying away from the main debate, but like, did you have any like competitions like that were like that in school? Like,
yes.
I know like a spelling bee is like the common thing.
See, I wasn't good at spelling. However, I was a map kid when I was in...
A map kid?
So, like, I love maps. I'm really good at memorizing maps and stuff like that. Okay. So, when I was in 7th grade, there was it was a history bee, but it was specifically for...
Oh, my God, I know.
It was a geography bee.
I know.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I remember the geography. Oh, my...
Yeah, and I got to be a part of that because I was so good at it.
Oh, my God,
and I remember the question that I got wrong. I don't remember what the question was exactly, but it was something saying it was an Asian country that like is in the center part, and I said China, and it was a Mongolia instead.
Okay.
And I thought it was Mongolia, and I said the wrong one.
Yeah.
And then I got disqualified.
Genuinely, oh my God, the geography bee was... I wanted to do so well, but it was my worst subject.
Yeah.
And whenever, because how did they do it for you? Because the way that they did it for us was that it started off that it was in each classroom. And then a student from each classroom would win. So the way they did it is that they would go, like, I guess they would go in alphabetical order, which seems a little unfair, but they would go in alphabetical order and they'd ask a question. And if a student got it wrong, they were out. And they just keep going until there was one student that got it right in that classroom. And then I think they would do it by grade. So they took the winner of each classroom in each grade and then had them go up.
Okay.
And then I think it was same kind of situation. Because I remember one of my friends from home was in it one year. Because they would then open the auditorium and we would all get to watch and stuff like that. But when the question went to me and I knew I was getting it wrong, it actually hurt. It hurt so badly. Like, I was talking to Ty in a previous episode about, like, this making or breaking my social career. That's one of those moments.
Yeah, no, that did it for you.
Yeah.
You kind of fell off after that one.
Yeah, and I've never recovered since.
See, in my class, I think it was only 7th grade for our school, because I don't remember doing it any other years. But we got, like, a paper test, and, like, she would read off the questions, and then we would have to write, like, which country we thought it was. And then I think it was whoever had the highest scores, like, they kind of got to go on because it was only 7th grade at our school. So, like, in each class, whoever just got the highest ones kind of, like, dwindled down from that. And then we got to go to the auditorium and be on stage. I got to be one of those guys.
Man.
And then I got it wrong. So, you know, resentful in my heart.
And then you embarrassed yourself. Yeah, I think... best case scenario, wipe out for me. I did also have the option of American Ninja Warrior, but there's there's not a chance that
I think you could do it. I think
be so for
I think
real
you could
right
do it.
now. Be so for real right now.
I think you could do the first one. The one where you jump back and forth?
Yeah, where you have to jump with the legs. But then when it gets to anything with upper body strength where I have to hold on, my spaghetti noodle arms are going to, and then I'm going to fall in the water. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think the wall, you might be able to. Well, that's also pulling yourself up.
Which one? Because
like
I know
the one at the end where you have to like run.
Oh,
and, like,
I thought you were talking about the wall where you literally have to like push yourself up, like the one that's on like
no, I
the
think
side.
You could do that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you don't know me at all.
See, I'd love to try American Ninja Warrior because like I go to the gym sometimes, and like I think it'd be really fun to try, but yet again, I don't really have upper body strength, and a couple months ago now, I think, I tried to scale a wall outside my apartment, could not do it.
Yeah.
And it was like 8 feet or something like that. I could not get up.
We'll do it. We'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna go on American Ninja Warrior.
No, I meant we're gonna climb
scale
the wall. Yeah, we're gonna see if we can do it.
I think we should.
But yeah, no. I mean, here's the thing: is that I actually think I saw it because I know I think there's like a European version of Wipeout or something where supposedly it's actually easier than the American version. Like I know.
That's unfair.
Well, because apparently with the now granted, it's on the internet. I don't know for sure if that's fully truthful or not. But apparently, like they intentionally made it nearly impossible in the American version, just because
living the American dream with that one.
Because if I had to guess, they wanted to get as close to America's Funniest Home Videos as they could, of just like, oh, look at this person getting
look like
getting
an idiot.
hit in the face by a wall.
Yeah.
When in reality they're going through probably a major concussion.
Yeah.
So you know.
I will say, I have a question more of.
Sure.
This is about another game. You might have heard of it. How would you feel to be on the Beast Games? Because I know you haven't watched Squid Games.
No, I have been watching.
Oh, you watched the couple episodes.
No, I watched season 2 of
Yes,
Yeah. However, because I knew I wanted to hate watch it, I did watch all of Beast Games, and I'm not kidding, but so did Connor.
Yet again, I am ashamed in you and Connor.
To be fair, it was in the span of one weekend when we were both like, do you have anything to do? And he said no, and I said, neither do I. Beast Games. Click. It was very bad. It was...
Okay, I'd love to... I don't know anything about it except for... I technically know one person who was on it, but she got out, like, immediately.
What?
I told you this. My mom knows someone who went on it.
Oh, no, you didn't tell me that.
Yes, I have. Okay. My mom works with kids and stuff, so she worked with one of the girls who, like, with one of the kids whose mom went on the game.
That's
I know.
crazy.
She was on another show, but I won't say that one just because my mom and all of that.
Sure. Yeah.
But, like... She went on Beast Games and, like, kind of got out pretty quick, so it doesn't really mean anything. But she was on it, nonetheless.
I think technically each participant, even if they got out immediately, I think they did get, like, $2,000 or something for still being in it or something.
I should have signed up.
Okay, well, here's the thing. If I had to guess, like, the cost for being on it probably...
No, it's a video game, and Mr. Beast doesn't exploit people at all. Everybody knows that.
No, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
No, but like if it equated to like you're thinking of like, you know, traveling, like all of it, that's like probably 2,000. So like
minimum. It maybe pays for itself.
Maybe you're getting 100 net positive. Like maybe. But yeah, I did watch the show, and it was the best of both worlds. It was reality TV show, and it was a game show.
So there was like cutaways with people talking and stuff?
Yeah. No.
Actually?
Actually, yeah. It was like both. There would be like. I don't even know, because each episode was so just baffling, I guess. The first one was, okay, everyone's in it. There's like 1,000 people or something, and they had a big room that had 1,000 platforms on it for one person to stand in.
Yeah, I've seen.
And they had they had gaps in between the platforms, and if they got out, they'd just fall through the bottom of it. Which is like those, like at water parks, like the slides where it just closes you in and then it like says,
and then just
I liked the ones that said 3, 2, 1 and then you fell. There would be ones that didn't give a countdown and then would just go. But that was what was happening, and like it was, sure, I get it. It was, I imagine, a stressful environment.
Yeah.
But it felt very dramatic at times, and I mean that. There is some truth behind that of how that is with reality TV in general. I suffice.
But also reality TV and all of that.
I suffice. But, like, it was... There would just be points where it's like people would lose by absolute chance, which was very unfair, where it's like one of them was literally just... Okay, some of these platforms are going to fall at a random time and you're not going to know.
Oh,
and it was, and you have to pick a platform to be on. It's like, that's... Okay, like there's no way around that. Like some of them were actually like, one was actually like somewhat interesting, which was just like everyone had a blindfold on and they had to count down from 10 minutes and everyone had a ball in their hand and they had to drop it before the timer hit 0, but they don't know what it is because they're blindfolded, so they have to count 10 minutes in their head. God.
So they have to like drop it as close to 0?
Yes, as close to 0 without going over. But there was one contestant that kept yelling random numbers. Like in front, was like 35, 100, 24, like just kept doing that and like ruining it for everyone. And I was thinking, I'm like, man, that's just not. And that, no. I mean...
Spoil it.
Spoil, I don't care because no one should watch it. But that contestant made it fairly far into the game.
That's like the purple hair guy where he kind of just like screws people over the whole time.
Game?
Yeah, in Squid Games.
Yeah. Coming out in June, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I'm not...
No?
I have my very strong opinions on this. I don't like that there's a second season.
There's a second or a third?
Well, I don't like that there's a second season in the first place. I think they should have just kept it with the first.
Okay.
But then also, my full opinions when season 3 comes out will affect what I'm saying.
Sure.
But if season 3 is only like 3 or 4 episodes, I'm going to be pissed off.
Sure.
Because the first season was 10, the second one is 7, and you end on this huge cliffhanger. And if it's just another 3 or 4 episodes, then it's like, oh, you're stretching this out for money and views. Which, like, yeah, marketing, whatever. But, like, it makes your audience feel stupid, you know?
I will say, like, weirdly enough, I've watched the second season and not the first. But I do think, without spoiling anything, because this I will not spoil. Yeah. But, like, it didn't have to be left on a cliffhanger.
No, it didn't. And also season 2 and 3. The reason season 3 is coming out so close to season 2 is that they filmed them both together. So that's why
that makes sense, actually.
It does make sense. Yeah. But that's why I'm more suspicious that it's just going to be another 3 or 4 episodes instead of an actual third season. Because like they did the same thing with Stranger Things, where like they cut it in half, and then it was just like, wow, 3 more slightly longer episodes, and I didn't even care about the second half.
I think with that, this is getting very far off.
Sorry.
I'm fine with this.
Okay.
I know that I think when they were announcing season 3, they also announced that they wanted to do like an American Squid Games show, which that I have absolutely no hope for. I think that's. I
pray that that's a rumor.
I think
it's not.
No, I think that is like an actual thing that they announced. I'm not.
That makes me feel worse.
I'm not fully sure, but
I'm gonna try and get on it.
Supposedly, no. Like the show. You want to get? Oh, okay, fair enough.
Oh no, I'm
dying. It was. Oh, you said red light. The cookie.
Shoot, sorry.
That's okay. But Yeah, like, I think the reason they did that is because canonically they wanted to say that, like, the one actual Squid Game is not the only one, and that it's actually around the entire world, which is why they wanted to show one in America. I'm going to call BS.
Yeah, I am too. Well, also, to bring a point to that, that is just a money grab. It's not some Squid Game extended universe, whatever.
Yeah.
It is a money grab because the creator of Squid Games, he originally planned for only one season, and Netflix offered so much money for a season 2 that it was a offer you couldn't refuse kind of deal.
Yeah, but then at that point, why would they, like, at that point then they have all that money.
Exactly. Then. Like, there's no reason to do another series or another season kind of thing, because the creator's first intention was only one season, and then it got so popular, and it defeats the purpose of the show because it's about, like, fighting for money kind of thing.
That's true. But yeah, no, so I definitely wouldn't go on that.
Why not?
Sorry, my fault.
Yeah.
I would not go on Squid Game, but I think, a wipeout, taking a wall to the face, it would be funny.
It would be funny. I would love to watch you get hit in the face with a wall.
Because it just was like just watching that reel or watching that like compilation, it was at a point where it's like, okay, this is funny, and then it got to a point where it's just like, I'm feeling really bad for these like people, like, because it was just like, it showed an occasional clip of like, wow, the person actually did this thing, and then immediately someone got hit in the face, like, and it also, again, the American version, like, I would go on it not nearly with the intention of winning.
Why not?
Because why not? Come on.
Why not?
Come on. How much even was the like prize? I don't even remember.
I don't remember there being a prize. I'm sure that there was, but I have no idea what it could have possibly been.
I'm gonna look this up because what was the prize for winning?
It had to have been like something really, like something worth it if you're sustaining multiple injuries over the course of 10 minutes, What?
$25,000.
I would have done it.
That's okay.
I would have gone on.
Okay. Here's the thing though, right? Yeah, the winning, it was apparently there was a team version of it that was $25,000.
A teen version?
A team.
Oh, team. Okay.
Yeah. 25,000. Like,
we could get our friend group to do that.
That is, yes.
we could make a group.
That in itself is a lot of money.
Yeah.
But for the stuff that they have to go through, and again, like, they probably have to pay money to a certain degree of being a contestant, like the amount of stuff they have to do, like, that's not a lot of money. And
in this economy.
Well, I mean, in this economy.
In this economy.
But like, at the time, because that was 2021.
Oh,
that was
okay.
that was
It was
the prize.
still going in 2021?
It was discontinued for a bit, and then they brought it back, and then it was discontinued again.
Oh, okay.
But I think it was on for like 2 seasons after it was discontinued in the first time. But yeah, I think for the amount of potential injuries and the potential cost of their medical bills that they would have, like, come on, like at least $100K, like something worthwhile a little bit, See, Game Changer's different. Game Changer wouldn't do that.
Okay, I have a second question then, like specifically with Game Changer. The season finale of season 6 is called Ratfish. It's essentially like Catfish. What is it? Love is Blind, technically?
Yeah, it was,
like you're trying to figure out who it is.
Yeah,
so it's like a catfish.
The contestants all like have a secret alias, and they're like messaging each other, and they all are friends, like they all know each other, and they're all trying to see who the actual person is behind each alias.
Yeah.
Is the episode.
Would you do something like, if you did something like that, like how do you think it would go? Like for you?
How do I think it would go?
And like, what Sona would you pick?
That's a good question, because, I would definitely do it. I mean, it seems like it would be pretty fun. I don't know, because, like, I feel like here's the thing. If we're talking about, like, amongst friends doing it, I think it would be pretty easy for people to figure out who I am, because I will pick just the most insane, like, person or thing, and I'll give an example. Picking Wipeout out of all of the game shows there are, I would, I'll admit, probably a fairly concerning pick.
Yeah, no, that is concerning.
But yeah, I don't know about what alias I would pick, but I think I could.
Do you think you could get far?
I don't think I would be the first one out, but I don't think I'd win.
Okay.
To be honest.
I mean, I think, specifically among our friends, I think a lot of people would pose as you, which I think gives you an advantage, honestly, because you could honestly do yourself and, like, blend in with the crowd kind of thing, because that would be really funny.
Actually, no, you know what would be really funny is if no one picks myself, but I'm just myself.
Yeah.
I'm just myself. And then people will be like, is Luke just, is this actually him?
Because, like, you could play it up as, like, a exaggerated version of yourself.
I could just talk normally.
Yeah. And then that, too, because, like, some of us know your mannerisms and your speech pretty well. So, like, someone trying to replicate it wouldn't be, like, super, super hard.
Yeah.
But you know yourself best,
Sure.
But, like, I think I like the idea of I forget who did it, but, like, doing the table or, like, bedside table. Yeah, like doing bedside table or bug with a big butt kind of thing. Yeah. I think something like that would be really funny.
Just something silly.
Half-eaten birthday cake or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that definitely, I would definitely see myself doing. But given the two between that, well, okay, actually, yeah, because I would go into either case. If I were to be on Game Changer, it would be to win. If I would go on to Wipeout, it would be because it's funny.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's funny.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, I think that's probably a good place to wrap up. We definitely did talk a lot about a bunch of other things.
It's all game related.
Game shows in general.
Yeah.
Bo, I appreciate you being here today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, of course. And tune in next week, guys. We'll see you. We only have a few more episodes left. It's coming to a close soon, but we've got a few more episodes for you. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.